uh, is member of my community, welcome back. Who is not, please do subscribe. I had a few just things to say. Since January, since actually I figured out exactly what is going on around my father's research, I start having provocations, small provocations at the beginning, like just people will just kind of talk to me a specific way, or they have a phone turn on like somebody is listening and stuff like this, which I told them not to do. And over last, specifically last couple of weeks, 3 weeks, I have two very unpleasant provocation. One, and it's pretty much partially it has this racial element in them because the people who actually done it, it's people of color. And usually, as I said, if you live in the South and you know stuff, it's it's very it will kill your career or work in general if you are announced that you're kind of a racist or something. But this is a danger you can get into when you try to defend yourself verbally. And the some people think that they can practically tell whatever they want to tell you. But as I said, in my personal experiences, if somebody tried to tell you stuff like this, it's they want to kind of wind you up, that you start talking things rude or so on so on, that they can simply create some kind of a base for further, in a way, judging other people to judge you. And usually, as I said, they have like a phone turned on, so they're preparing to provoke you, that you start talking or say something that it's not. Actually, it was really ugly. It was the about my dead mother. Actually, the provocation was about, I had twice talk about my mother. First was not so I would say stuff that will inflame my nerves. But the second one was really, really ugly. It was about practically very, very vain, in a way, very, very low life type comments. And the about my mother, and she's dead. She's lived a year. So, and the simple, as I said, possibility of like somebody is just trying to wind you up and get you into conflict. So it can be related to a lot of stuff, but what worries me is that it's at work. I work for the biggest security company in the world. I'm a supervisor, and one of the shifts in Piedmont Center in Atlanta, Georgia, one of the premier places of business in the United States, actually in southern United States. And I've been there for 4 years, and I've never had any. I had a couple of problems. Um, we had somebody stole something there at work once, and it was on a shift where I worked, which was like years ago. And the what worries me, as I said, that it's starting again, not just at work in general. Gangstalking, ugly gangstalking. I apologize. So anyway, the for the handkerchief here, nose is running, and the what is interesting is it co by coincidence it started pretty much since January. And January I was figured out pretty much, as I said, about my father's research. And I contacted one of the companies that actually I work in a building with, and it's company called Accenture. It's a company that recently got almost $800 million Navy contract. And this is communication company, consulting company, and it was regarding semiconductors, which my father's research is used in calibrating semiconductors. And there are massive number of semiconductors all over the world produced. And they kind of, when I had the situation with them about a year ago, and then I had new information, so I went simply to ask them about things. And the let me just do fire disclaimer. I don't have anything against the company. Accenture actually, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't find out what's the deal with my father's research. Some of my father's research is. So I'm actually happy that whatever happens with Accenture, it's kind of a happy part because they kind of grab me and put me in the direction to look for stuff. And the, as I said, but after that, I start having problem, financial problem that started about a year ago. I have a boss that actually never informed me that I'll be, when I become a supervisor, I won't be able to make 1,500 more a month. And this 1,500 more a month were actually uh, the the ones that I was covering my mortgage with and homeowners association fee, and now I am on my way to lose my condominium if some kind of a miracle doesn't happen. And as I said, the moment if I have my condominium taken from me, I cannot be working for the same spot. This is because I cannot be working in Atlanta. In my opinion, by the way, I think my mother's death wasn't just a coincidence. For now, I'm trying to change her death certificate to suspicious death, and then it'll take very long time to sort stuff out. And the second part is, I think one of the reasons, because if it's racial, my mother worked in Africa, and not just work in Africa, she witnessed whatever, the United States, a former Soviet Union, they were on edge of war all the time, and part of the program was the Soviet Union was financing groups out of Cuba and out of Africa of saboteurs in the United States. There were select countries that people there where live looked similar to the people of African American descent in the United States because of the slave trade centuries ago. There's some areas in Africa practically they don't differ any way. People with these areas don't differ in any way as African Americans do, because South African Americans actually they're descendant of these people from Africa, and the so Soviet Union at the time, and as I said, my mother worked with her former husband in Africa, and her husband was close to the government, and he was close to Cubans. At the time, Cuba was fighting South Africa and Angola, and my mother was between all of it. Okay, plus there's different stuff in technology that my father, biological father, not her husband. So there's much they had stuff with. So my point is there's much more things, and I think I stepped exactly within these games that are still going on partially. I think that's why I don't think my mother died by herself. I'm not talking about herself alone. I'm talking about somebody helped her to die, and the in bad way. So I don't want to say the word because just the word like was starting with M. Some people can shut down your channel or suspend videos and so on. So that's why. But my point is this: what it is, and I have I no longer feel safe in Atlanta myself. The uh, I was poisoned, I said 2 years ago. I have suspicions, but hard to prove things. My mother was had a situation that after just overnight in the hospital, she almost stopped walking, and the the harm was done. So my condominium is a safe place for now, where I'm in Atlanta. But if a condominium is taken away, that they work on it for a very long time, by the way. Some people here, and there was attempt to hijack it in 2017. And if I lose this apartment, I won't be able to, you know what, kind of defend myself. I will become a homeless person. If I become homeless person, that's why simply what I'm simply gonna do, I'm just planning. If they take the apartment, I will simply drive away from Atlanta. And the Allied Universal Company, it's all over the United States. There's 800,000 people work for Allied Universal in several countries, and um, I will have to leave. So if I'm supervisor or not. But my point is very simple. The provocations again is just a sign of the beginning of problems. The As I said, how this thing usually works. Preparation for gangstalkers to make you homeless is beginning of a physical attack on you. It works following. This is how it works. I'll just kind of put it together step by step. First, they will hit you in finances, that you have problems paying bills. Then they will have a problem fixing things, properties, and so on. So you're gonna lose the property, like through foreclosure or foreclosure by government, for instance, the IRS, or some kind of a stuff you failed to pay because of your impoverishment in a way. This is how it's done. Then you actually end up on the street. You have, if you have good pay, you will can rent. You can rent a hotel, right? This is if they let you rent, because there was a trick in former Soviet bloc. It's called don't rent, don't accommodate. It means people who are gang stalked or are targeted by intelligence, they would not get a hotel room. Will go and they end up actually during the night. They will end up on the street somewhere. Usually it's somewhere around the train stations where gang stalkers by them hang out lots of times. And or lately it's even harder to get in the train station because those cops will come simply ask you to leave. Even if you sit in the car, you can be target. Okay, so this is how done. Then when you become, as I said, homeless, you uh, usually it's there around shelters. You have to, if you want to attend shelter, they're going to be within the shelter system. They're going to be gang stalkers. I apologize. I have, as I said, have stuff from poisoning. Still, kind of sometimes I have irritated stomach and esophagus. Drink water, and so these people actually they're within the shelter system. They're gang stalkers. They present themselves to be homeless, but everybody kind of there are covers for them because it's the shelter. It's a very gang stalking place for people. So then they will strip you, attack you in a way. They will strip you with from your personal items. So personal items are the items that can prove your identity, and it can be driver's license, it can be your passport, it can be bank cards, and so on and so on. And since you don't have an address, it's hard to deal with because, for instance, if somebody steals your debit cards, they will we're gonna receive them. For instance, I just in case if something like this happen, I have a PO box, but the PO box I don't have anything there. There's somebody is tampering with my PO box. I don't receive for last year. I haven't received anything there, and I even try. to ask you guys to test the PO box, but nobody did. Just I want to ask for about the like postcard for a few cents, but nobody did anyway. Sorry, and I had only one guy from Florida send me, but it was more than a year ago. Said I received practically any mail. I don't know any mail. I don't know what can happen. So when you're stripped of the items, I'm continuing about this, how it works. When I, when you get stripped of any items, personal items, you become with no identity de facto. Then what happens is, when you are on the street, you usually are approached by law enforcement. Okay, and when you give them your ID, if you have ID, but if you don't have ID, they will have to check you for a computer. I mean, speak with accent. They have to check in two places. They have to check ID regular state, and they have to check ID with the immigration. So if you are confirmed identity, you are good. But if you are not confirmed, your identity is not confirmed, you can end up in two places. You can end up in jail first, and then you can end up in the second place, ICE, which is immigration enforcement. This is I'm talking about. So if you're an immigrant that it's not welcome anymore in the United States, even if you're an American citizen, you can have a problem. Okay. Then usually you're shipped somewhere. You can be shipped by. They can invent something. They can ship you a specific place out of the area that you are now. So this way, your original identity is for grabs while you are somewhere. So de facto, it's identity hijacking. You can end up identity hijacking, and you can end up somewhere in a prison system that nobody will know where you are. And this is what the deal is. This is part of the gang stalking, and this is part is physical attack on you when they make you first a homeless person, because the moment you become a homeless person, you cannot defend yourself. So I would suggest simply go places you know, go places where people know you. Doesn't matter. You can be sleep there in the shelter, and the and avoid places where your stuff that you gang stalked for, you think is there. So that's what it is. Oh, damn! It's 17 minutes. It's 18 minutes. Uh, so as I said, I hope you follow me. I am doing the I'm doing the this videos um, exactly kind of educate and kind of educate not just you but myself, because when you think about things, you have situations that are being played in your head, and it's like a you guys for me like think tank maybe gonna become. So I will ask you for possible solutions of ideas, uh, and what you see from me, you'll be seeing what exactly happened to people who are good people. As I said, I've been always law abiding. I've been always good moral characters in a way, but yet just because I asked for piece of my father's research, I am in this situation. And whatever my investment was in this apartment, it can disappear within weeks. I had actually a letter yesterday from my IRS that I still owe them $300 there, and they said this is the last warning of before the lien. And okay, you see, you can't pay things when you don't have the money. Okay, you have somebody is screwing you over, and at the same time, you have your income being manipulated. Okay, and you cannot say, "Well, thank you for my income," but you cannot have more than you're supposed to. that you ask for it. You cannot do stuff with no money. You know what I mean? We're talking about they have to pay stuff, and then suddenly IRS tells you, well, we will put a lien on your condominium, and we will determine the price we're going to be putting on the market. So it means they can put 1 cent over the whatever the what's left on the balance, and they just can steal stuff from you. And you have to go to a lawyer, but I don't have lawyer money anymore. Anything I try to do, it's not working. So, and then, as I said, you stop being safe when you become homeless. As I said, it means that you have it's kind of a beginning of the end of the entire situation, but it will end. There's not much you can do. Some stuff always has the end of it. Will I have good end? No, I don't know. As I said, I'm coming down with them with medical condition, actually two of them, and will I have possibility to collect my social security that I can at least pay stuff for internet, for or buy food and so on and so on. So it can be a tragedy in general for myself, but as I said, it's some of the stuff. It's not you know up to you, and people say, "Oh, trust God." So and so. Yes, I do, but as I said, one of the deities that I consider to be my patron, he didn't deliver for now. So I don't know. I hope there's something more. But I'm absolutely sure people who live in under the bridges, the homeless people, I'm absolutely sure they were sure for themselves that their deity will save them. You know, they won't be living under the bridge. So this is what the thing is, and so we will see. And it's almost 23 minutes, and I hope it loads faster, like always. Last time it actually, when I had 25 minutes video, it's actually got loaded for 30 minutes. I hope this time is going to be the same. And again, I apologize. I have inflammation of my situation as a result of poisoning 2 years ago, and I have this problem, irritated stomach. Okay. Anyway, see you guys maybe tomorrow.